Oh, it didn't crash. Yay. Hey, it is Wednesday, March 27th. YouTube Studio. It wants me to set up memberships. Content. I'm now live, so I'm going to turn on Do Not Disturb. Just FYI, if you're here, I got to check that you can hear me too. On save. Let's see. There we go. Just FYI. Yeah, you can hear me. Okay. Sweet. Morning, Chase. Morning, Scott. Live chat instead of the other chat. Did Apple get out of it? I don't think it did. Yeah, it did. Whoops. Yesterday. Morning, Joe. Market scanner. We're going to do some scans. Scan. Morning, Varun. SMCI, Roblox, MPLX. Let's see. I own most of these. Target. And Square. Bitcoin. Anything in Bitcoin? I think most of those have scrolled, all right, crossed up. Oh, boy. I am now starting my mornings with yoga. Wow. Bitcoin, crypto, list, Beth, BITC, ARKA, EZBC. Most of these seem to BITO, FBTC, GBTC. BITB, BITX, BTF, IBIT. I think most of these got ARKB, BR, BTCW, DeFi, and MasterStream. Okay. Most of these got, I mean, it's all going to look kind of the same, but they should look the same. Yoga's fun. I used to do it every day. And I got out of that. And so it takes 7 to 10 days to create a habit. And I am starting to get back into it, so it will take me 7 to 10 days to create that habit. TECS, SMDD, FAZ, SPXU. Morning, John. Low cost Vanguard. Let's see if there's any here. Nope. I don't think there's going to be a spider sector. XLV, healthcare. Watch list. Let's see if others on the watch list. DB Master Strategy. We're going to put these up here because these are two that Toast. STRL. BITO. And Target. I believe this is an alpha pick. Let's see. STRL. Let's go to alpha picks. And we'll go to portfolio. Yeah. It's a recent one. I think it's a recent one. Let's see. Yeah. Still a strong buy. Industrials. Infrastructure and rehabilitation for large-scale projects across. This may be having to do with the Baltimore port. Maybe they're going to be called in. But that could be why that one showed up. I mean, it looks like it's just setting up for another. Let's look at a weekly, because it's got to be strong on the weekly, yeah. It's setting up for short term. It's setting up for another leg up. That's a nice move. Okay, let's look at morning mark. And what I do, by the way, for yoga is I have the free Peloton app, and I screen it for nothing in the Dow 30. I screen it for filter free classes. I don't pay for it. I probably should. I mean, it's $12 a month for the yoga portion, which isn't bad. Adobe's coming back. I mean, Adobe's event yesterday, I'm not going to go into it, but it was pretty good. The monetization portion of their AI stuff. S&P 100. TMUS, Adobe, Bristol Myers, AbbVie. And AT&T. AT&T's interesting because, I mean, it just never wants to go up, but it's always been a decent trade during times when it could. But if you just look at, I mean, we'll look at a monthly of this one. This is a nightmare of a stock. I mean, there's nothing good about this whatsoever. I mean, that's the year 2000. Imagine you invested in this at 42 in the year 2000 and you're still holding on to this. I mean, that's just yuck. Yuckaroony. Okay, we're going to do this. I don't think it's a bad one. Adobe's not a horrible one. I'm going to get out of, and we're going to go to core investments. And we're going to go to the Qs. Where's SMCI? Whoop, whoop. I think it's still down from where I bought it, but oh well. I bought it yesterday. I don't know what the price was. And it's not like I'm trying to hide it. I just forget what the price was. I think I'm going to remove this channel. We're going to remove this text. We're going to remove this. And we're going to take this back to the beginning of the year. Okay, so we're going to look at that one. I'm going to close that down. Here is, and what I want to do is I want to compare against SPY. Because what I want to point out We'll just do gainers. Okay. I mean, in my mind, when I go to Seeking Alpha, let's just look at a little something. My analysts. I think I'm following Steve. Yeah. Periods after Fed tightening cycles outperforming private real. This is an interesting one. And I'll put this one in. Steve Kress from Seeking Alpha wrote this about. He also, no, we don't want the link. Okay. But what I want to show is in Seeking Alpha, and I'm sorry, Savvy Trader, I can track how's the core portfolio doing. I mean, you know, this is just me buying 100 shares of a stock and holding it. I mean, I haven't not purchased anything. That was March 12th. And let's see. Devon Energy, I sold out at 40 at a low. But it's not, you know, just sold out that. I bought QQQ. I probably will buy ITB, to be honest with you, because I do like that ETF. But look, I mean, there's not a lot of. Sold 100 shares at 220. I think that's at 230. Morning, Dan. Morning, Mike. I mean, that's what I want to show is. We're going to show this. Okay. Core portfolio update. Okay, we're going to open up STRL. That, I mean, it's an alpha pick one, so it just got a cross up. I think, Scott, on SMCI, I mean, here's what I see on SMCI. And the reason I bought it yesterday was when you look at the 65-minute algo, it got you in at 938. It got you out yesterday with a 9% gain. But with that weakness, when you go to the 4-hour, I looked at it and it just got you in at 1068. I think I got in at like 1050. Cocoa, let's look up Cocoa. Let's see if there's a stock. There are no exchange-traded products that provide pure exposure to cocoa futures. The last product that did so was the iPath Bloomberg NIB, which was delisted in June 23. Is there a... Can be exchanged ICE futures Europe. It's from 2022. I mean, Google it. I don't know about, I mean, it's a commodity. It's kind of like oil. It's kind of, kind of like all that stuff. I'll be right back. Okay, I may get interrupted. GOV, should I include this one? Losers canoe. Positive news isn't enough. I might do not disturb. Okay. I'm not doing anything on the yen. Yeah. I mean, cocoa. It's the story of the day. I mean, you're always going to find a story of the day, and the hot one. Don't let FOMO get into you. I think cocoa's probably a good buy just based on some of this stuff, but I think XOM is a great play, to be honest with you. I got out of that one, but I do think that 120 is in the cards on XOM. I think it's slow and steady. You're seeing that the MACD crossover on the 4-hour, it won't get you out anytime soon. But those Bollinger Bands are still wide open. They're cinching up a little bit, getting ready. But that's, in my mind, I don't think that's a bad one at all. QQQ, a little weak. Okay, let me start this. Let me open up some of these links. We got Oracle, now a strong buy. We've got Marvell ahead of the event. We've got Charlie going over CleanSpark yesterday.
Okay, folks. So a key player in the Bitcoin
this was an interesting one.
CLSK just broke out of
And we've got Steve's second article, Steve's first article. This is the DJT trade. This is XLE. And I don't know if I'm going to show this one from Shay or not, because there's almost too much to discuss. And it's kind of the same thing about, here are my stop stocks to watch in the rest of 2024, broken down by sector. It's a great list. You know what? I'll mention it. And then we're going to core portfolio, and then we're going to do the sales. Okay. So we've got that. ARM, Scott, I'd be careful with ARM. Honest to God, I'd be super, super careful with this one. I don't think the valuation justifies it. Now, remind you, it's a recent IPO, so we really don't know a lot. The quant's not covering it because it was an IPO, and we just don't have enough data about it. But the valuation of this, I mean, look at that trailing 12 months PE, 1,589. Look at the PE forward, 581. I mean, yeah, the growth is going to be pretty good, but forward gap of 2.57, closer to 1 is better. You're 31% over the growth rate of the actual sector. So I don't know that it's justified per se, but, for instance, we'll go to the valuation of SMCI. You look at the forward PE, 79, 50. I mean, it's not in the hundreds. Still, it's over the sector median. You look at the PEG, it's below the sector median. So the forward, the reverse is over, but the forward is below the sector median. So they're expected to grow less than the sector. So what if they grow more? That to me just kind of identifies, hey, Houston, we may have a problem. But ARM is a little bit tricky in that it was IPO, so we don't have a lot. Remember, the lockup period is over, so SoftBank can sell if they want to. Buy Bitcoin. Just buy Bitcoin. I mean, all those scans got it. Okay. I'm going to hit record. Good morning. It is Wednesday. It's hump day, March 27th. Close to the end of the quarter. And we've got Easter sales. Easter sales are going on. First thing is TrendSpider. You'll see me. And I will address the social request first. Simonel. I think it's Simonel from Spotify asked, what algos are you referring to? Keep watching, because the algorithms that I refer to are my algorithms, okay? Algorithms are automated trading programs that basically identify opportunities. My algorithms don't trade for you. But here in TrendSpider, you will see this entry back here on January 10th at 4:07. You'll see this exit with 3% gain. You'll see another entry. These are algorithmic entries and exits on the Qs. You can do this with any stock. This is the algorithm in TrendSpider. This is what you get when you sign up for TrendSpider through my link. You go over to Linktree. You go to the top one, TrendSpider. It is on sale. It is on sale for 67% off for the next day. $595 for the year. For instance, you have a system. Well, I have a system too, and I back tested my system. My system trades the Qs. It gets you over 24 months. That's 2 years. It gets you in 23 times. You get a 27% return versus buying and holding makes you 23%. That's just one. If you want to look at the crazy one, look at Bitcoin. Look at how the 4-hour algorithm trades MSTR, which is a levered Bitcoin. It's MicroStrategy. This is just, 847% over 24 months. 22 positions, so not even once a month. You make 847%. If you bought and held, you made 276%. So my algorithm are basically these 4-hour. It's based on momentum. It's based on MACD. There are moving averages in here. It's an algorithm that you get when you sign up for TrendSpider, and TrendSpider is having a sale. So Seminole, sign up for the sale, because if you don't know what an algorithm is, it is basically it takes emotion out of the trade. It just looks at the charts, tells you when to get in, tells you when to get out. It's 100% just chart trading. That's what it is. I have a 4-hour one and I have a 65-minute one. You get both of them when you sign up for TrendSpider. So that's the first Easter sale. The second Easter sale is you get an additional $10 off. It's a $50 off coupon, but Seeking Alpha reduced their price. I think it goes from $189 to $179. That's the best sale they've got. I've been an affiliate with them for a little while, so I would sign up for that one if you are looking at it today, because again, $10 is $10. You might as well sign up for it. I think it goes on for another couple of days through Easter or something. I'm not quite 100% sure how long that one goes, but you'll get, again, you go over to my Linktree and you get the second link, and you get an additional $10 off. So there is an additional $10 off, and then TrendSpider sales. So those are the two sales for Easter that are going on right now. I want to start off with, and we'll go over, by the way, I've got a little tip for you how to use TrendSpider to analyze your portfolio with either algorithm. So if you can see if you want to get in or out. And there was a question. One of the biggest benefits of TrendSpider is you can set up alerts, and you can basically, set up the alert for the entry right here. And you can do it for any stock that you want. So if you want, I think with you get a total of like 50 alerts or something, and it texts your phone. So you don't have to sit there and watch charts all day. I want to point out something because, my core portfolio doesn't get enough credit. It is 35 positions. There are 35 positions. I don't trade in this one. This is on Savvy Trader. You should sign up for this. You should follow this, because what I do is I just buy 100 shares. When I find a stock that I like, I buy 100 shares of it. Now, these are typically stocks that you're fine buying and holding. It's not stocks that you want to get in and out of. It's buying and holding stocks. The one exception is probably Roblox, which I've said buy under 40 and sell over 40. This one I put in there just as a trading stock if you want to do it, because I don't think that you're going to lose a ton of money. You may lose a bit, but if you buy it under 40, at some point in time, you will be able to sell it over 40. That's different than something like Fisker, something like DJT. We will go into those kinds of things, but these are core 35 positions. What I wanted to point out is how well it's done year to date versus the S&P. The S&P is up 9.15%. Okay? The core portfolio, which again is just an even weighted ETF of 35 positions, it's not hard. It's up 22% year to date. If we compare this against QQQ, and you can go to Savvy Trader and do this yourself if you're subscribed. If we go to QQQ, the Qs are up 22%, or I'm sorry, the daily stock pick core portfolio up 22%. The Qs are up 8.61%. So I'm beating all of these. And I mean, we could do IWM if you want. IWM is just a nightmare so far this year. Tom Lee says it's going to be up 100% from now until the end of the year. Or I'm sorry, 50% from 200 to 300. But IWM is only up 2%. My core portfolio is up 22%. So you can compare it. But my point is, buy quality names with quality, good companies with good products, with good earnings and good management, and you'll be okay. Don't try and time the market. Don't try and look at some things that that are FOMO. DJT, it's FOMO. We'll go over this. I will read you a quote about the stock symbol DJT. You can just look at it. But I wanted to go over that one first and show you the core portfolio. You can go over to savvytrader.com/dailystockpick or go to the link tree, and it's down here at Savvy Trader. Follow my trades. I've got two portfolios. I've got one that you pay for, and I've got one that is completely free. And the core portfolio is completely free. The trading portfolio you pay for, because that's where you find out the first time. When I trade, I put it in there. And when I trade in my account, I should say. This isn't my portfolio. It is just a trading portfolio of stocks that I currently either am holding or I currently buy. Like yesterday, I bought DELL. Why did I buy DELL? When we look at DELL, it is a strong buy in the quant in Seeking Alpha. And when we look at this action on DELL, I think I bought it at about 115 or so. I am not making money on it, but the algorithm said buy it at 113.98. I may have bought it at 113.50 or something. I forget the exact price that I bought it at. But look at that MACD coming down. You can see the pop of the volume. Yes, it was hype. It was on earnings. It started to cover this. Well, when I went over FinViz, and I've been saying this before, even through incredible insider selling. I mean, we're talking probably $1 billion, if not more, by Michael Dell. And then this SLTA, they're all selling as well. All of these insiders are selling throughout that. Okay, in the month of March, look at how well this stock has held up. And it's not crazy. It's not crazy priced. The valuation is pretty good. It is number 2 in its industry as far as the quant rating goes when you go to Seeking Alpha. And again, this is part of using the tools. I go into those sales first because I want you to see how I use these tools. And see down here, it's ranked number 2 out of 27. It's a strong buy in the quant, 4.98. You can't get much higher. The quant is 1 to 5. You can't get much higher. But what's number 1 in this sector? Technology hardware. It's SMCI. You know what? On the 4-hour algorithm yesterday, SMCI got a buy. I bought it. I think I bought it at 10.50. It is now at 10.45. Am I worried? No. The valuation of SMCI makes me completely confident in this one. It's not something that I'm going to trade tomorrow. It's not something that I'm going to trade probably this week. It is something that I am going to just hold on to. If it goes down, I will buy more at a lower price. I didn't fulfill my 100% position. If you're going to put $1,000 into something, buy $200 of it today. And then if it goes down, you can buy $200 of it more tomorrow. So I am going to start this position in my retirement account. I already hold this in my brokerage account and it is continuing to run. So I just want to get exposure to it in my retirement account again, because remember, I sold out 1,100. I said it's going to come down. It went down to the 800s. I didn't buy it. I sat there patiently. It now seems to be coming up. Again, the 4-hour algorithm, you can see down here, it is down around the oscillator mark. The RSI is down at 51 in no man's land. It told you to buy at 1068. 1068. So your average win in the algorithm, by the way, is 41%. So you want to listen when the algorithm actually gets you in, because you win 52% of the time. And your average win is 41%. So I want to listen to the algorithm. Again, how am I using these? I'm using all of these tools exactly like that. I showed you on DELL. I showed you on SMCI. And I wanted to show you those. I have one more buy that I'll go over. But first, I want to point out Shay Boular on Twitter. I'll put this in the newsletter. If you're not signed up for the newsletter, I don't know why. The newsletter is 100% free during the week. It's the weekends that and the Zoom meetings that you pay for, but 100% free during the week. There is no reason not to sign up for it. I will include this list from Shay in the newsletter. So you can link to it. You can look at it. These are his top stocks to watch for the rest of 2024, broken down by sector, that are on my radar for my growth portfolio. They're not in his growth portfolio, but they're on his radar. It is a good list to look for. Solar and EV, he's got Enphase, he's got Tesla, he's got First Solar, STEM, chip industry, NVIDIA, AMD, AMAT, AVGO, which I just bought recently in the past couple of weeks, FinTech, SOFI, PayPal. I'm not a fan of PayPal. I would rather have Square. I have Square, but PayPal may be doing better just because it's done worse over the long term. Security, CrowdStrike, I own this one. Zscaler, I don't own it. PanW, I own it. Sentinel and Net, Cloudflare. So it's a great, great list. I'll include that in the newsletter. XLE. This is interesting. XLE formed its first golden cross since September with the price testing multi-years highs. We talked about during election years, I did seasonality with Jason on one of his lives. And during election years, April seems to be the best month for energy. One of the best months. It's 100% positive in Exxon and Chevron, I believe. You'd have to look at that one again. But XLE, golden cross on the daily. If we go and we look at the daily, you'll see the 4-hour reacts a little bit differently. But look at that. The 50-day is crossing up on the 200-day. It is high. It is up above. You have confirmation. It is looking like that $93 is a little bit of a resistance level. But I would not put nothing past the energy sector right now. I think it's going to continue to go up. XLE is probably a good one. Remember, when it seasonally tells you that it's good in the month of April, you want to buy in March. You don't want to wait for April. You want to buy in March. So there was a move that I made yesterday, and it was based on yesterday's podcast. And if you noticed, I went into Seeking Alpha, and I said, let's look at XLY, because I want to look at XLY because I have it because of Tesla. And I noticed that it was I think it's a buy in the quant. Let's see, it's a hold in the quant. So I said, let's look at the subclass. Let's look at, what else is good in the consumer discretionary fund as far as ETFs go for cyclical. Well, ITB is the number one. And I looked at ITB and I said, well, why is that? Its expenses are low, momentum low, dividends high, risk D. I looked at the risk and it basically says the standard deviation. It's run a little bit much, and that's all that means. But it's a strong buy in the quant. So I went over here to TrendSpider and I said, okay, ITB. Let's look at this one. One thing that I should do here in Seeking Alpha, which is another tool that they have, is I go over to charting and I select symbols and I go ITB versus XLY. And we'll just take a look at this. And this is where I'm heavy into XLY. And the reason I'm heavily into XLY is because it's got Tesla. 50% of this fund is Tesla and Amazon. So those two stocks I really like. I want to limit the volatility. So I looked at XLY. Now, over 1 year, ITB is up 3 times, almost 3 times what XLY is. You go to 3 year, ITB is up 64%. XLY is only up 9%. And yes, XLY has been a large holding of mine for that time. 5 years, ITB is up 220%. XLY is 61%. Do I think it's going to continue running? Well, let's go and look at the holdings. This is a home construction ETF. I told you about Builders First Resorts. That is the number 9 holding right here at 3%. Your two largest are two home builders, Lennar and D.R. Horton, which have already run, but with interest rates coming down, there could be an opportunity. So I said, let's take a look at this. Algorithm got you in at 113.19. Yesterday, I think I got in at like 112 something, or it was low 113. So I really, really like this ETF. So what did I do? I sold about 30% of my XLY position, and I immediately bought ITB. I just switched. And I just switched with the thought that, hey, Tesla may not provide me the lift that XLY was looking for, as it is a higher percentage. Amazon, I think, is 180, and then it continues to soar from there. But it's been hitting that resistance at 180. So I said, home builders, as interest rates start to go down, home builders should probably make better money. So I looked at it. Algorithm gets you 61%, 85% is what you get with buy and hold. I found an entry and I said, I'm just going to enter it and I'll buy and hold it. Your average win on this is 10%. You win 39% of the time. So the benefit of this is buy and hold. Again, using the tools that I have to try and find opportunities. That's exactly what it was like. In fact, I was at Tesla yesterday. And if you didn't know, they are now going to require delivery specialists to actually demonstrate full self-driving. They will include with every new car full self-driving so that the delivery specialist can actually take the customer on a test drive using full self-driving. I thought that was kind of crazy until it was pointed out to me by the Tesla guy. He said, hey, they just released version 12. And version 12, if you didn't know, of full self-driving basically takes Tesla's visual technology and it puts AI into it. It's called Project Dojo, and it is one of the largest AI implementations that we've seen, where it visualizes everything and makes decisions based on AI, based on the visualizations. Well, version 12 has been a huge success. Elon has demonstrated it using it himself. Other people on YouTube, you can go and look at that. All of the stuff, I think Mars kind of on Twitter, he does it. But you can find anything. Version 12 has been a big step up. I still don't think it's ready for prime time. But what was interesting, and I brought this up, I said, isn't it dangerous to release that? I don't think you're going to sell more because the potential of it doing something bad on that test drive is actually pretty high because I haven't had success with it before. But the Tesla guy pointed this out. He said, as we're trialing, can you imagine the amount of data that every car that is, by the way, this full self-driving, Elon is giving it to current cars for 1 month for free. The take rate on full self-driving is somewhere in the teens. So he's now enabling 90% of the cars that are out there to actually try this for free over the next 30 days. And remember, they just implemented version 12, which is AI. Imagine the amount of data with 2 million cars on the road when they test drive this full self-driving over the next 30 days. That is going to be a logical step, a huge, huge mountain in the amount of data that this AI is going to be able to train on. It now made sense. They're not going to try and sell the product. They're trying to implement and train the AI. I think this is huge for Tesla. We've talked about this stock before. The catalyst for this is AI. The catalyst is FSD. That is the catalyst for this. That is why Cathie Wood is buying a lot. I think that decision by Elon is pretty brilliant. Still doesn't get me to want to buy the stock here, but I think that's why you're seeing it up 2.5% in pre-market. That's kind of the thought process through a lot of people. My notes in here say, hey, I got back into SMCI. Yeah. What I wanted to show you is how I use TrendSpider specifically to look at my core portfolio, my own personal portfolio. So I don't share this list. I share the core investments. I share Bitcoin. I share covered call ETFs. I share energy names that you should trade. I share levered ETFs, leveraged ETFs. I share all the low-cost Vanguard ETFs. I share spider sectors, and I share a personal watch list that I've created based on alpha picks, based on Motley Fool, based on just things that I've personally traded. It's a personal watch list, but I do not share my brokerage holdings. And my suggestion is, if you have TrendSpider, and you have a brokerage portfolio, keep a list and create a private list of all of your stocks that you have in your portfolio. And this is what I do. I mean, this is part of my weekend. This is part of my afternoons. I sit here and I, Apple, largest portion of my portfolio, I look at it in the 4 hour. And what was it? Monday got you out with a little loss. The algorithm got you out of the loss. Am I getting out of it? No. Am I trimming it? No. I just think that this 170 is kind of a platform there. I think it's putting in a nice little platform. And then I hit the down arrow, and that takes me to AMD. I own AMD. Algorithm got you out with a 1.63 gain. You're out. Am I adding more? Probably. Look at that MACD down there. So I keep an eye on this. And these are the things that I do. Amazon. I told you it's putting in that kind of capitulation at 180. It doesn't want to get over that 180. It's kind of put it in there. I think this one's going to go higher. Am I getting rid of it? No. Algorithm says 177. Algorithm doesn't have you out. The MACD's down here. So this is what I do. You hit the down button. AVGO. I just bought this one at about, I think my average purchase is about $13.50. It's trading at $13.45. I'm probably going to add more. I'm just waiting for this one to kind of tell me which direction it's going in. Algorithm has you in at $13.86. That's why I started getting into this. BLDR, I own this one. Personally, I own this. I looked in Seeking Alpha. It's not a strong buy anymore. I think it's a hold. And I think it's based on valuation and momentum. I still like the name. Still have a big position in this one. I think my average purchase price is somewhere in the 180s, 170s, somewhere in there. I like this stock. This is a stock that trades at a pretty low PE and a forward PE. And then you look at CAT. CAT is one that, hey, I'm looking at it in the algorithm. Got you in at 288. You're at 356. 356. Am I adding to it? Not now. I'm waiting for that MACD to kind of cross down and for it to get me out of this current run, and maybe I'll add more. I'm seeing a nice little volume shelf. Again, these volume shelves are from the year forward. Volume shelf at 325. Look at how it put in that volume shelf. Then I've got Costco, and I bought Costco around 730. It's putting in that platform at 730. In my mind, it's setting up for a higher gain. They're going to announce a membership raise. Look at the amount of people that are buying at 730. That's where I want to be. CRM, I own Salesforce. I just hit the down arrow. And so I scroll through these very quickly to just take a look. And I've got my ranges in here. I've got all my notes on the stock. And I can just simply go down and look at these to identify, okay, do I want to add more? Do I want to look at this? This is how I use TrendSpider to understand and take emotion out of my portfolio. Devon, I still own Devon. I haven't identified this at 50. This was the buy below and sell higher. It's now going to run up against that as probably resistance. Look at how high the MACD is. Yesterday, I needed some cash. I was thinking maybe I should just sell Devon. But I don't want to get completely out of the energy space. Etsy, I love this brand. Algorithm got you out yesterday. I'm sitting on a huge loss. I don't want to sell this at the bottom. If we look at the weekly, this has just been a nightmare of a stock to hold. It hasn't been good. My buy was way back here, back in October 2020. I like the brand. I didn't get out. Should have gotten out during that downturn. I didn't. I'm still sitting in this one. I've trimmed it, but I'm not sitting in it as much as I have. But yeah, God, I've still got a big loss on that one. Google. This is GOOGL. This is a buy that I've had for a long time. I bought this before I started buying GOOG. But IGM, this is an ETF that I own. ITB, I just put it in yesterday, so I'll continue to watch this. But again, I easily just hit the down arrow in this brokerage list, and I can look at on the 4-hour algorithm. You guys asked me how I use the 4-hour algorithm. This is how I use it. This is absolutely how I use it. One that I wanted to point out is Oxy. Because Oxy, I identified yesterday, and I'm just going to continue to scroll down. Oxy, I identified yesterday, it's rolling over. Is the algorithm going to get you out? Probably soon. So I have a note in my notes to keep track of it. Again, this is just managing the portfolio. And I've got a bunch of names in here, but it's easily managed by just looking at the stock chart. Ulta is one that I've had. I wanted to get out up here. I didn't get out. For some reason, I just stuck it out. I thought those earnings were better than what they said. I think I'm somewhere in the neighborhood of, I think 450 is my average purchase price. So I'm still in it. Wells Fargo. I pointed this one out to myself yesterday. Algorithm got you out. Am I getting out? Probably not. It's financials. Financials are on a good run. Look at this one. I mean, it continues up, puts in its shelf right there while the MACD is going down. It's getting ready for another leg up. I think, again, that's how I use TrendSpider to manage my portfolio. GameStop, earnings were an absolute mess. If you got into GameStop and you thought, oh, I'm going to trade this one, yeah, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. 1453 algorithm got you in. Algorithm loses you 42%. You lose 64% if you buy and hold. This company's just an absolute mess. And I mentioned it yesterday. It's down at $13. It is down, 15.68%. So that's one to stay away from. Another one to stay away from is DJT. And I want to point this out. And I want to point this out because DJT is an absolute mess of a stock. Now, the algorithm makes you 61% on this versus buying and holding makes you 2%. Your average win is 19%. So if you want to trade this one, you can. But what I want to point out to you, Trump Media gained 16% with NASDAQ debut. And there's updates on this and everything. But the one thing that research DJT, just the symbol DJT, you will find out the last Trump company that went public, the last Trump company that went public had that symbol DJT. It was Trump's Hotel and Casino Resorts in 1995. It used the same DJT ticker tracker. It went bankrupt in 2004 and was delisted from the New York Stock Exchange. 2004. Want to know when it IPO'd? Trump Media even highlighted Trump's history of bankruptcies as a risk in the SEC filing. He's got years of grifting in his background. So I don't think, remember, this was a SPAC. We have no information on details of the financials of this company or anything. This is something that you want to trade on a 1-minute time frame, nothing more. So do not get sucked into FOMO because it's up 23% today. Trump could ask the board of directors, can you waive the 6-month holding period so that I can pay my debts? And if because he's got billions of dollars in this company, if he's allowed to unload his shares, right now I think what you're seeing is you're seeing a short squeeze. And this is something that you don't want to get involved in. Even though GME is an example, oh my God, I can make so much money. Trade it on a 1-minute time frame and understand you may get completely halted out. So say you're trading right now and you're buying this at 72 and all of a sudden it goes to 150. Well, maybe it's halted. And then when it opens back up, you're at 20 because Trump just unloaded all of his shares. That's the danger of what you could be happening. And the other thing I want to point out is understand who is the CEO and the leader of this. It's Devin Nunes, the douche who couldn't get reelected to Congress. So do not get into DJT. There are better opportunities out there. Yes, it's getting some media attention. It's just, again, he has a history of grifting people. So I want you to be sure of that. Know what you're getting into. Steve Kress from Seeking Alpha, who is not a grifter, he wrote this article, Best Chip Stock to Ride the AI Frenzy, Taiwan Semiconductor. It is just a master. If you are a Seeking Alpha subscriber, I suggest finding Steve Kress and then hit this follow button because he also wrote about REITs. There's 3 REITs that he said that the quant, again, he's the strategist of quant. 3 REITs. If you're interested in income, he said REITs historically surge in periods after Fed tightening cycles, outperforming private real estate and equities markets. So historically, he has gone back and he has done the research for you. So understand that's what you want to follow. Somebody like Steve, somebody who is looking at the quant. He is literally just looking at the quant, at the fundamentals and saying Taiwan Semiconductor is a buy. Taiwan Semi is in the core portfolio. The risk is political on that one. So, and look at the 3 REITs if you want. Charlie last night from Zip Trader, he went over CLSK. He thinks it could double. CLSK is a Bitcoin miner, CleanSpark. I don't know. I mean, he made some sense to me on this one. It's interesting. It's gotten past its resistance level. He said it's up 4% at 24. 23 was, or 22 right here. It's 23.45. That was around the resistance level. The MACD already up high. The RSI at 68. I think it's interesting. He points out some really good reasons why CLSK could outperform Mara, and it's because the short sellers are just taking Mara down. But if you look at CLSK in the quant, it's a hold. The halving, he thinks the halving could be good for CleanSpark. But what I want to do is I want to select these symbols, and I want to look at this against Mara, because Marathon Digital, and we can look at some of the other ones, some of the peers. If we look at the peers, let's look at this. Clear, Vertex 5.9, Workovia. They don't even have. Let's select the symbols again. Let's look at Mara, because I want to look at short term how good CleanSpark has actually done against another miner like Mara. I mean, we could put Riot in there as well. Let's select another symbol, Riot. Again, remember, this is all about using the tools that you have and trying to find this stuff out. So when you see a douche on the internet say, hey, go and buy this, you want to take a look at what this is actually doing. So let's take a look at Riot, Mara, and CleanSpark, and we'll do it on short time frames. Oh, and Seeking Alpha. I think this is probably my ad blocker or something. It messes with these charts. Let's see. We're going to start this up again. Hopefully it's still, yeah. It should come up. I'm stopping the recording so I can pull these up. I've had this problem with some of the charts. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. So for 5-day, again, we're looking at short term. CleanSpark is up 26%. Mara's up 2%. Riot's up 8%. Again, with Bitcoin, let me see. Can I do Bitcoin in here? BTC. I don't think Bitcoin. Yeah, I guess I can. Bitcoin against it. Let's look at how it's doing against Bitcoin. Bitcoin's up 12%. So Mara and Riot are underperforming Bitcoin, whereas for 5 days, whereas CleanSpark is outperforming Bitcoin. So CleanSpark is up 26%. So again, understand the tools that you have, understand where you can do it. I think Charlie does a really good job in this video of going over why CleanSpark could continue to go. Remember, Charlie is one of the guys that you could live or die on his stocks. I mean, he has really good history of picking some stocks, but he also has a really good history of losing money on stuff. Marvell perks up as Citi opens 30-day catalyst watch ahead of AI event. They're going to have an AI event. And so NVIDIA, AMD, and Broadcom shares moving higher after their respective AI events. They're saying Marvel could move as well, MRVL. This is another chip company with AI aspirations or chips that are used for AI. We've seen a pullback. So, right after its earnings, you could see this one pop. I mean, this could be back at 85. Right now, it's up 4.32%. You're seeing it recover. Algorithm got you in at 65 just 2 days ago. I don't think you're, it's poor to buy here at $70. Buy it at 71. I mean, again, I think it could get higher up here. If we look at the weekly on this one, it's run already. You got a positive moving 50-day. You got a positive moving 200-day. You just have a pullback after earnings. They release some guidance. But if they have an AI day, Citigroup think that it's good. I wanted to point out this isn't in the core portfolio, but I just looked here. If we go to home, and I want to show you one of the other tools of Seeking Alpha, because you can scroll down and there's essentially what are the latest quant ratings of strong buys? Well, podcast favorite Oracle is a strong buy. Just moved up there, 4.87. If we go to the quant and we look at this, and we look at Oracle, you can see it was a hold. Just moved to strong buy at 126. You look at the average price target from Wall Street. Average price target from Wall Street, 137. That's an 8% upside. Where you're trading right now at 126. If we go over to TrendSpider, Oracle, ORCL, where the algorithm got you in. I think it got you in earlier. I don't think it's gotten you out. But here's the earnings pop. And you're seeing kind of put in, it's just capitulation right there. Algorithm got you in at 111. Algorithm makes you 52%. Buying and holding makes you 51%. So it's good. I got to stop here because my pine straw is getting delivered, and the dogs will go nuts. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to halt it. I'm not going to stop it, but I probably will. I'm just going to put it on mute because I got to go talk to these guys who are delivering my pine straw. This is the fun part. Good morning, Sherry, by the way. This is the fun part of hopping on a live video is when you get Marvell is great. Chris, you'll be fine. BLDR I love. I own it. I like it. It's a strong buy in the quant. So you can buy it. Let me go put on my shoes. Okay, sorry.
Penny was peeking at it.
Penny was what?
Peeking at it.
What?
Detaining them.
Oh, she was. Oh, did you show them Penny? Did Penny come on and say hello to you people?
They didn't notice.
Oh, nobody noticed? Okay. I'm going to continue this one. Marvell's great. I mean, that article here. This article. This, Chris, will show you made the right move in buying Marvell. Hong Kong. I've never been to Hong Kong. My friend Arpita lived there and still raves about it. I gave these guys a nice tip. And you know, if today all you need to do is give people, you know, money that isn't life-changing, buy someone lunch, that smile's worth it. Pass it on and just be a good human today. Okay, let me text real quick. Okay. Penny is great if you don't live with her, Larry. I have never been to Hong Kong, Sherry, but I do want to visit for an extended period because I love it's one of the cities that I think with the mountains outside of it just interests me so much with the buildings and the mountains. I do like it. Okay, let me continue on. Let me record. Sorry, I had to stop. My Pine Straw guys showed up. So I am going to pick up, hopefully where I left off, but it's Oracle. And Oracle in the quant is a strong buy. Price target from Wall Street is 137. So you do have some upside. Now the quant rating, when you go to system software, what's number one? ALAR. I don't know them. But Oracle, I believe Oracle has some AI aspirations. They're taking Uber from on-premise to the cloud, so Oracle should be perfectly fine. And I like it. So Seminole is the social request. What are your when you say algos, what are you referring to? Hopefully in this podcast, I explained exactly what I'm showing you. It is Oracle at 111. You can buy it. Again, these algorithms are meant to take emotion out of your trade. When you go over to Seeking Alpha and you go to home and you say, okay, let me find top stocks. Let me go and find some top stocks. Let me look in the quant, FNMA, which is a great one for me to trade. I've traded this one in the past. It is a financial stock. Look at that. I mean, look at this 1 year performance. You're up 381%. Year to date, you're up 82% in Fannie Mae. This one has been trading 52-week range. You're trading at 195. It goes up to 199. Why is it? You know, look at the valuation. The valuation isn't nuts. It's PE. A little crazy, but it's I've traded this one before, and this one is a great trade when it goes well. So if you're over here on the top stocks, again, you have to have emotion to look at this stuff. Well, the algorithm takes emotion out of this. And if we put in FNMA, I would not trade this on the 4-hour algorithm. I would probably trade this on the 65-minute, even though the 4-hour algorithm makes you 162% versus 144%. Let's go and let's look at where the 65-minute algorithm takes you into. 65-minute makes you 107%. Buying and holding makes you a 334. If you had bought this yesterday at 11:40, it was $1.87. You're at $1.99 right now. So, average win 5%. The 4-hour is even better. I mean, ironically, the 4-hour over 2 years is just unbelievable. 35 positions, 162%. You're in at $1.29. You're at $1.99 right now. But that's what you do. Again, here in the algorithm, you don't have any emotion. You say, yeah, I should have gotten in at 129. Here it got you in at 129, got you out with a 1.55% loss. You didn't know that it was going to go up this much. Again, taking emotion out of their trade. Let's do some scans because, again, if you want to know, in my newsletter, I put in what's called scans at the end of this. So if we go over to the newsletter and you look just down at yesterday's and you scroll down to the bottom, you can scroll past all the charts, all the news stories, everything, and you just go and look at the scans. These are the stocks that yesterday showed bullish tendency. So what are the ones today? SMCI. Buy at 1068. You're trading at 1017 right now. You can get it better than the algorithm got you. It's a little bit weak, but again, it's showing a positive move. Roblox is one. Where is Roblox? Oh, I'm in my brokerage holdings. I want to go to core investments. So Roblox is in the core investment. Roblox here, 37.50. It moved. Here's what you have to know about Roblox. Again, that trading range is where you're at. Got you in at 37.35. But when you go over here to Seeking Alpha, RBLX, it moved. It moved to a sell rating in the quant. The quant moved it to a sell. You can, warning, is at high risk of performing badly. Here's why. Characteristics which have been historically associated with poor stock performance. The company has EBITDA margin of minus 44%, while the communication sector is in a median of 8.2%. Again, the return on capital, minus 42%. Yes, they are losing money. So it has, again, it shows all the characteristics of kind of a sell. But in my mind, again, I think it's a $40 stock. I think if you buy it here at 37, the algorithm loses you 15%. So 37, not a bad one. I think at some point in time, you pop up here to 40. MPLX, we talk about MPLX all the time. It has another trigger to get in. MPLX here at, I think it's within already a run. It's not a new one. It got you in here at 40. Might be taking a leg back up. Look at this. MACD's down. It's going for another run. Energy, again, it's going for another run. Target, I own Target. I said at 120. I didn't want to sell it because I thought it was a $170 stock. It's at 174 today. 174. Again, this is the first resistance. So if we go and we look at the weekly, that first resistance, it's right at the 200-day. If we hold this 200-day, because the 50-day is starting to turn positive, 9-day and 21 are already positive. 50-day is starting to turn positive. MACD just crossing up on the oscillator. RSI oversold at 74. Square is another one that I hold. I got out of PayPal. I didn't get out of Square. I like Square a little bit more. I think it's got more exposure to the crypto stuff, and I think they're doing better things. This price up here at 87, that's probably a resistance level. And you know why it's a resistance level? Because look at this. If you look at 87 to 90, that's where it's topped out. 1, 2, 3 times, 4 times, and then it's taken a little leg higher. So if you are going higher and that 50-day starts to move positive, then 128 is in your sights. AAPD, TECS, SMDD, FAZ, SPXU, MicroStrategy. All of the Bitcoin, by the way, all of the Bitcoin ETFs, I will include all of them in the crypto list. Most of these got a MACD cross up and are moving higher. This one, MicroStrategy, 1,929. I mean, if we go and we look at the weekly, this one is at all-time highs. It's just taken off. It is crazy what this stock has done. It is riding right along with Bitcoin, so it's interesting. But I will include all of the Bitcoin and crypto lists that looked bullish today. So again, remember, Easter sales are going on. It's TrendSpider for $595. It is going on for the next day. It is a limited time sale. What you do is you go to my link tree, linktr.ee/daily stock pick, and you go to this top one. It will take you over to TrendSpider. You sign up for TrendSpider. Then you go to the email address right here, and you email me with your purchase from the email address that you purchased it with. I will send you all the links to import everything. Once you import everything, you are perfectly fine. You get going right there. set it. I include some videos of things that I think you should look at. But TrendSpider, that's my number one tool. My number two tool is Seeking Alpha Premium. And this one has a $50 off coupon. You save an additional $10. It's down to $179 instead of $189. And this one is a really, really good tool. You get access to all of the quant picks. You get access to every kind of Wall Street analysis that you want. So again, this is something that I use personally. I can't live without it. The third one down on this list when you go down is Alpha Picks. There's no sale on this one. I just give you a $50 off coupon. This is for people who are new, who just want to know about, hey, what's a data-driven stock that, that has the likelihood of going up. And the reason is this is just 2 stocks per month. They tell you when to buy. They tell you when to sell and sell. It's as many times as they want during the month. But it's 133% versus the S&P at 36%. So again, the performance is there. And just to give you an idea, if we go over to Alpha Picks, one of the stocks today, STRL, if you go to the portfolio, STRL, and we look at this company and we scroll down to STRL, it is Sterling Infrastructure. It is up 81%. It's still a strong buy. It is a strong buy. And it has a MACD cross up, and in my algorithm, it's showing a bullish trend. Well, it's been capitulating right here. We look at the weekly. This is an industrial stock. It's looking like it's up. It's just at 112 today. It opened up already. It's just trading kind of flat. But 112 on the weekly, it's looking a little bit stretched. But again, it's a strong buy in the algorithm, in the quant, in Seeking Alpha. And it just got a bullish upward trend in my algorithm. That's how you use the tools. So if you have any questions, hit me up. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay, bye. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. I got to put that together. So I'm going to go here because I've got to put this together, and the guys are putting down my pine straw. But I am on here every day. If you're new, subscribe. Make sure you got the newsletter because all of these charts will be in the newsletter today. I think I'm up on a lot of stuff. Yep. Okay, cool. Okay, I am out of here. Yeah, I got to go edit this together. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. See you, bye.